Technically, they are yours. All right, we're going. So, come on, Allison Dixon. It's not like you're good. So disclaimer, I do have a cold. So if I say anything a little bit funny, I am on day call right now. I apologize. So I want to thank everyone who could make it here today, and shout out to the few seniors who are here. Senior Ditch Day. Good job. So I'll introduce my guests. These are my parents, my dad and my mom, and this is Mrs. Traeger. Hooray. All right, so I will start at the beginning, and obviously the most exciting part of my life. I was born November 19th, 1996 in Fresno, California, as the first and only child of my parents. So yes, it's true. As an only child, I was a bit spoiled. It's okay. Everyone knows. So I've been a Christian my entire life. When I was little, my parents were super involved in our church, and they were actually my Sunday school teachers, which was pretty fun. And so I've always known Jesus in my life, and granted, I didn't completely know him until I was older, but I've always had that foundation, which is great. When I was 2 years old, I was diagnosed with really severe asthma, and which, I mean, granted, where we lived in California, this wasn't all that uncommon. It was a super polluted area. Most kids had asthma. But as a result, I was unable to play sports. For instance, one time I ran across my bedroom and stopped breathing. So team sports were out of the question. And but a good thing that came out of this is I developed a super close relationship with my parents, which is awesome. And I lost my place. My bad. And so, when I was in second grade, we decided to move to Colorado because I don't have asthma in a state that has clean air. So in late June of 2004, we moved to Highlands Ranch. And I actually ended up repeating second grade when I moved here because apparently in Colorado, you don't start kindergarten when you're 4. Didn't know that wasn't a thing. I was way younger than everyone else, but it wasn't problematic because I make friends easily. And I actually really loved elementary school. I was the girl that played cats by the swings with my friends, and playing sports during recess sounded like torture to me. And also, I'm pretty sure that I never once got in trouble except for with my 6th grade teacher, but I'm pretty sure she was out to get me. So for the part that everyone always enjoys, middle school, I went to Mountain Ridge Middle School, and I actually loved middle school. I mean, granted, I was awkward like everyone else. I thought it was totally okay to wear those rubberized Under Armour headbands every day, and it was awful. I had braces, a palate expander, and lots of dribble. And it was very attractive. But I really loved middle school. It was a great time for me. I had awesome friends, awesome teachers, fun classes. I was in the smart kid team, so I got to do fun things like burn CSAP. Yeah, it was great. And so after 2 years of fun in middle school, I started high school at Mountain Vista High School. And quick interjection right here. Every year, my parents asked me, do you want to go to Valor for high school? Because they wanted to give me the opportunity to go there because we could afford to go there. And every year, the well-trained Douglas County High School public student I was like, ew, no, not Valor. They recruit. Granted, I didn't play sports, that doesn't matter to me, but that's what you said. But I had a lot of friends where I was, and I was really happy. I was I don't really want to go to the big, scary, intimidating school on the hill where I don't know anyone, don't know anything about it. So I decided to go to Mountain Vista, and freshman year, I started high school at Mountain Vista, and I really enjoyed it, actually. Granted, school dances were traumatizing events, and I ran into my fair share of overly PDA couples in the hallway, but for the most part, I loved it. And I had, again, great friends, fun classes, and an amazing time. Some of my favorite memories freshman year were I took engineering and tech classes of all things, and was usually one of the only girls, if not the only girl in the class of roughly 30 people, which was always really funny. And after a great first year, sophomore year came around, and the first half was equivalently great and awesome. But however, right around spring break of my second semester, things started getting a little bit weird. All within a relatively short period of time, my whole group of friends decided to become atheists, and outspoken ones at that. And suddenly I went from having amazing friends to being involved in this group of people who spent their whole time ridiculing me and trying to poke holes in my faith and just getting super mad at me all the time. And they started to ostracize me and just tell me all these horrible things all the time. And I ended up in just a short course of less than half a year, went from having a ton of friends to having no friends at all. And so at that point, I started considering maybe I should transfer to Valor, like maybe I should, but I was still super scared because I didn't know anyone here. So one night I went to one of my youth group parties because they have like these get-togethers sometimes that aren't youth group, but are just like kind of fun events. And there I met Bishop, Dylan, and Tyler. However, it was loud, and I thought their names were Bishop, Devin, and Ryan. But I later figured it out. And I thought, I was like, you know what? Like, there are nice people at Valor. I at least know a couple people now. Like, I can go, and that'll be great. So because of them, I decided to come here. And so at the start of my junior year, I started school here. And I really didn't know Devin and Ryan very well. So I mostly followed Bishop around for like a solid week. And I actually look back now and think that's totally hilarious. But as a result of that, I became friends with the lovely arts people, and which has been awesome. And honestly, I've never met a more inviting, joyful, kind group of people in my life. And what was I say? So junior year, as far as school goes, was a really hard year. Valor is much more difficult than Vista, even though Vista likes to think they're academically superior, which is a total lie. They're like, oh, we're so much better than Valor academically. I'm like, you guys, you don't even know. But in the middle of October, I actually missed 2 straight weeks of school to go to Israel. So even though I was drowning in makeup work for basically the rest of the year, it was still a great time. I finally found something that I truly love doing, and that's theater. And it was also around this time that I started becoming friends with Tyler. And it was also around this time that Mason, Kenny, and Caleb, I believe, tackled him in the hallway and told him to ask me to homecoming. And then right after that, we started dating. And in him, I have found my best friend, which is great. And that year, I also did Fiddler on the Roof, which is my first show. And even though I played the boisterous character of Man 1, which came along with its own set of problems because I was super uncomfortable wearing a beard and a wig, but I really fell in love with theater and just all my friends there. Whoa, it's falling. And I loved feeling like super united with everyone towards a common goal, and it was just like a really great experience. And so in the summer after junior year, I went to Peru with Katie and Justin. Woot. And it was the first time that I ever traveled outside of the country without my parents. And it was an amazing experience. I grew so much deeper in my faith. I got to see things that like I never thought that I would be a part of. And it was just an amazing experience. And I felt really, truly independent for one of the first times. I mean, I've always felt independent, but that was like the one time I felt like I was really like responsible for myself. And then now it's senior year, and senior year has gone by super fast. And I started off the year doing my first play and last play, The Servant of Two Masters. Good luck on your test. That's okay. Bye, Jubble. So I started with my first and last play, The Servant of Two Masters, and let's be real, my role was super weird. But I loved it, and I had so much fun. After Servant, there was my first and last Valor Vespers, and then my last musical, Beauty and the Beast, which was definitely my favorite show. Senior year really has been great, though. I've spent so much time with all of my friends and met new friends as well. And it's definitely been my best year of school so far, and I only wish it had gone by slower. I've decided next year to go to Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm not completely sure what I'm going to major in, but I do know I want to get a minor in either design communications or studio photography. So that is my life in a nutshell. And moving on to my thank yous. I want to thank all of my teachers and mentors. You all supported me, genuinely listened to me, and I'm so glad that I've gotten to know you all. You've all showed me what it looks like to be faithful and truly kind-hearted, and have been have been more than teachers to me, and I will forever be appreciative of what I've learned from you. To all my friends, especially my theater family, I love you all so much. I'm not going to call my friends out very specifically and individually, but because if I did, I have a thank you for every single person, and it would take hours and hours. Thank you, Michael. And it would take hours and hours to thank everyone. But sorry. I want to thank as a whole, you took me in when I came to Valor, and I've never had better friends than you all. You're so welcoming and loving, joyful and hysterical. Some of the funniest moments of my life were moments spent with you. I love you all so much, and I'm going to miss every single one of you tremendously next year. Tyler. In you, I see the most amazing, upstanding, honorable man of God. I look up to you in more ways than one, yes, pun intended. And I know that I can always count on you to be there for me and listen to me. You're a wonderful boyfriend, but also my best friend. I'm so excited to go to Belmont with you next year, and I look forward to all the amazing times to come. So thank you for everything. Dad, we've had some of the best memories, from building bottle rockets to camping to doing martial arts together, driving, visiting colleges, and paddleboarding. You're the best dad I could ever want, and I can always count on you to be there by my side supporting me. You taught me my superb BSing skills and my weird humor. You spent countless hours with me in grade school trying to get me to do my mental math packets while I cried at the table because math sucks. And you fixed basically everything I've ever broken. I love our morning breakfast together, even though I don't usually talk because I'm really bad at waking up for school in the morning. But it's one of my favorite ways to start the day, and I love it. I wouldn't ever change a single second spent with you. I look up to you for your wisdom and for your genuine faith. You've always been my example of what an honorable man is, and I want to thank you for being the best dad I could ever have. Mom. You've been my closest friend for my whole life. We've spent so much time together collecting dolls when I was little, binge watching TV shows like Lost, Gossip Girl, and Downton Abbey, shopping together, going to antique malls, and just hanging out together. I do almost everything with you, and I love that. Since I've never had any siblings, I've spent almost all my time with you, and I've loved being so close to you all these years. You always have great advice, even though sometimes I hate to admit you're almost always right, although I still hate wearing a money belt in foreign countries, and I will never get over that. You taught me what it's like to be a lady, but how to have fun at the same time. You taught me what it's like to trust God in every situation, and I've needed that so many times in my life. I know that in you, I will always have a best friend that I can count on forever. You've been an amazing mom to me and even a second mom to a lot of my friends. I love you so much, and I'm so happy that I've had the privilege to spend these last 18 years with you. The end.
Well done. Now, does anybody have a question or word of encouragement?
No, I do not know what my most embarrassing moment is. Just throwing that one out there.
You know what your most embarrassing moment is?
Okay, well, there's like a lot. But I really can't think of any particulars. Mostly it's just that in some situations I miss up on I get confused on social cues. Tyler can attest to this. He's seen me miss those a lot. But that's about it. That causes a lot of awkward situations for me. Yeah.
Other than people, what are you going to miss the most about Valor?
I think I'm just gonna miss like the atmosphere of being in like one enclosed school where everyone's doing like the same type of classes and knows all the same teachers, and like I don't know, I'm gonna miss some of like the fun things we do here. But since I'm going to a Christian school, it's gonna be pretty similar, so I feel pretty comforted in that. Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to about college?
I think I really like Nashville. And even though it's going to be really hard for me to like be out of my comfort zone and be somewhere that I don't really know, I think it's going to be exciting to get to like figure out new things and do new things and meet new people. So it's going to be just kind of a challenge, but a fun challenge. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah. Go for it.
What will you miss most about living at home?
Oh.
And it can't be laundry.
Laundry?
It's
No.
like laundry, I don't know.
I think it's going to be like just being able to like hang out with you guys like in the afternoons and stuff after school and chatting. It's like I can still text and Snapchat, but it's like I don't know. It's like I really like just being able to hang out with you guys all the time. So I'm definitely gonna miss that the most. And good food. Just throwing that out there. Like you should be my personal kitchen in college. Yeah. Anyone else?
Well, I would add that you've done a tremendous amount of work all through school, and it's K through 12 and it's done now. You got a whole new chapter to go that's working itself. But although sometimes at the table that you mentioned when we did the math facts and a little bit of getting that habit in you of doing homework and spending time doing it, once you got that down, you've just spent a tremendous amount of effort. And so we appreciate that as your parents. And you've been wonderful, wonderful to raise during this time. And we're looking forward to what the future holds as well.
Thanks.
Well, let's gather around Christy and spend some time praying for her.